put this on 2x speed. Hey everyone, what's going on? And today I'm going to be talking about all the questions and theories that I have after seeing WandaVision episode 6, the No New Halloween Spooktacular, whatever that was. People know that if you've seen the episode, by the way, spoiler alert, if you've seen the episode, you know that I've seen like 7, 8-ish reaction videos. If you've seen this episode, you know that this most definitely raised more questions than it answered. Yeah, we get more of a feeling that yes, this is actually Pietro with his powers. We know that there are children somewhere. We know that Billy and Tommy get powers. That's about it. We know. So, anyways, let me just talk about the questions that I have and some possible solutions and my theories as to their solutions. So first, this is not really related to. This isn't really related to the plot, but it's just my interest personally. Billy and or Tommy, are they queer? I think we've gotten. There was like someone was wearing like a rainbow cape, and our vision passed, and there was like a rainbow thing in their house, as well as the fact I feel like Billy specifically. I mean, yeah, Tommy's got a little bit longer hair, but at least Billy is definitely more queer coded, being the Dorkosaurus Rex and whatever, and just the way he acts. By the way, props to the actors for like everyone in the show, but like Billy and Tommy are doing great as well. Then will they even survive? This is really dark and morbid to think about, but honestly, in episode 3, they were just created from almost nothing in their universe. I mean, potentially, maybe Wanda got pregnant in Scotland and it accelerated here. That'd be the best case scenario, I think. Because if you think about Scotland in Avengers Infinity War, that was like 2018. Really, that's like 3 years ago for us. For Wanda and for Hayward, that would be like 5 years ago. Yeah, I think. I forget. 2018, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 5 years ago. But Wanda, in the Infinity War, it was with Human Vision in Scotland. And then they had to rush to Avengers Compound, and then to Wakanda, and then she got snapped. So then she returned after 5 years in 2023, and that's where we are now. So that could definitely be a possibility. I don't know. But even then, when they leave reality, that I assume they'd have powers because they'd get rewritten. I don't know. The genetics. I hope so. I'm a fan of their characters, and then with these powers we see from them now, will they be a part of the Young Avengers? Especially with Kate Bishop, Miss Marvel, if Patriots and Falcon and Winter Soldier, if there's a young Loki, America Chavez, Miss America in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. We're getting lots of Young Avengers for this team. And then possible Hulkling with Secret Invasion. God, I don't know. It would be really exciting. We'll see. We get the scene with Herb where he's like, "You want anything changed?" And in the previous episode, Agnes was like, "Do you want to take this on the top?" So they're trying, I think, some of the regular background characters, I've heard people call them, are trying to egg Wanda on, like, because now, especially we see she's using her powers more in her everyday life. Like, trying to get her to, like, involve them in something. I don't know why. I really want to know, because at the end of episode 3, we hear Herb and Agnes talking. If Agnes really is Agatha Harkness, maybe she's not, but we see the brooch that she's worn through all the decades. and the witch costume this episode, there's still a great possibility. But then she also seemed more normal in this episode, but at the same time, at the edge of town, she was still able to murmur and mumble some stuff. I don't know. But if Agnes has that shared information with Herb, is Herb anything special? Is Herb her? No, but then again, Herb has his identity. I don't know, God. But then, if Herb is just a regular resident, how much do regular residents know without Vision touching their temples and giving them the grief and everything and the regular life and whatever? I don't know. Great questions, though. What's going on with the edge of town people? Is it because they're farther from Wanda? Because, as you see, so everyone's moving when they're close to Wanda. Everyone's very active, whatever. And you see people are active, especially, people walking down the street with Vision at some point. But then, I told you we saw the people, one hanging up the thing, and she was just crying, and she's just doing the same thing. And then we see, apparently people have seen the guy behind her. I didn't realize this. I just thought he was doing something, but I thought he was regular. But I guess he would have noticed. People said that he was putting setting the jack-o'-lantern down over and over again. So maybe as we get farther out, they become less and less human or active. And this is definitely my theory that when Wanda is near, or some people have said when they're filming close to them, or when the camera's on them or whatever, that's when they actually start doing those things again. So we saw people actually came out of their houses in the one cul-de-sac by the edge of the neighborhood. So maybe they went trick-or-treating there at one point. Maybe, I don't know. But then now that maybe they've left, they just pause because they're so far away from each other in the town square. That's my theory, is that the closer you are to Wanda, the more active and moving you are in the show. I want to talk about the commercial for a second. Yo Magic, a snack for survivors. There's tons of theories that the commercials have to do with even Infinity Stones, or a lot of people think trauma. I also think that, which is also what I've been thinking, but I also think that each one has a little bit of a message. So the first one, it was the watch. It has to do with the trauma of dead parents. People have linked that to the Mind Stone because it's a blinking red thing in the toaster. But it's Tony Stark, the creepy bomb that the bomb that waited for a while to blow up, then it killed her parents. So the bomb, the message of the first one is like the bomb, Tony Stark, the toaster, I forget what the slogan was, but it killed her parents, Next one was Strucker, he'll make time for you. Yes, he will make time for you, but also Strucker is watching you. I forget what people look through the time zone, I think. You get to the next one, which was, episode 3, Hydra Soap. Make you feel like a goddess or whatever. At least your inner goddess within. She's actually not a goddess, unlike maybe Hela is, but she is practically even more powerful than Thor at sometimes, especially with her powers, or equal power to Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Thor. All of them are really up there with those powers. So you could be considered a goddess at the same time. People talk about there's the reference to Coulson and the Shield, Hydra brainwashing people, mind wiping people, whatever. So maybe at the same time you could think of it as Hydra brainwashed her. Episode 5 commercial, Lagos. When you make a mess you didn't mean to, people have linked that one to the Aether red fluid. Also, by the way, people have linked the Hydra Soap to the Tesseract because it's a blue cube. But with the Lagos, when you make a mess you didn't mean to, clean it up. That one really is just there for itself. It's cleaning up mess. Lagos, she needs to clean. I don't know. The next one was, that was the most recent one. Then this is the Yo Magic snack for survivors. This can be a lot of things. Her magic can't save people. Her magic can't save herself. Maybe she has to do it other ways. Maybe that's what I originally thought it meant. But or maybe her magic couldn't save Vision, which also that's really sad. And maybe that's what it is. Let me get another commercial tomorrow, hopefully. Next Friday. Oh my god. And this is gonna be up on Tuesday. But that's just my thoughts. It's a really interesting one because it's, besides maybe the first one I said, it's probably the most morbid one where, I mean, they played it off because it's like claymation. You can do that with regular people. It was nice because it was also homage to that era of commercials that you would see. But it was interesting either way. Let's move on. What's up with the vibranium decay? Vibranium is decaying in Vision. This, I guess, hints more to the fact that he's a corpse, which I don't want him to be because I feel like he shouldn't be, because they also said that she resurrected him. So maybe it's just because he's getting older. Do they need to, like, if he actually does survive this, which I really hope so, but I don't think so, will they need to, like, replenish the vibranium in him? Maybe just make him an AI again. I don't know, which would be really sad for Wanda. But otherwise, she would have her children. God. This is me overthinking everything. Welcome. We should just retitle this. Ryan overthinks WandaVision. Now, accents in both Pietro and Wanda. Wanda, I always thought that was just either because Natasha was training her spy, whatever, undercover. At the same time, also because, it fit the sitcom world, and Pietro didn't have it, but that was a little bit sus. Let's keep going because I don't really know about that. There's a few reasons for either, but I'm sure we'll figure it. I'm sure by the end of this we'll have all these questions and the past ones all answered. But I think we should keep going. Vision tries to leave. Is the border strength to blame? Possibly, but also I've heard theories that it could be because he's just fake, and when he tries to go out, he won't go out because he's fake, but also started deteriorating because the parts that he was made up of, I don't know. Monica powers when? We have 3 more episodes, supposedly. So when is she getting her powers? We've seen hints in 4, in 5. Now in here in episode 6, we have hints every single episode that something's wrong with Wanda, something's gonna happen, something's happening to her. When is she getting her powers? Hopefully by the end of the series, hopefully not at the finale. And then Captain Marvel 2, I said we can develop those powers, develop the name, develop the suit, whatever. There's a specifically costume that has more resemblance to her actual costume, but isn't that superhero costume-y? Maybe it'll just serve as it for now, and then Captain Marvel 2, she'll get the logo, but we haven't seen it yet. We'll see it in the future. Maybe that's what she uses to go in the border. Can't really show it to you because it's a bit of a spoiler, but just saying that in itself is not really much of a spoiler. Maybe just because of the shared memories, but Wanda and Pietro kept bringing up, like, their mom and dad, so that makes me think that possibly Magneto could have some significance into here, you know, because this is Evan Peters from the Fox series, at least with the actor, the personality, or whatever. It should just be that Pietro. But now I can finally talk about that. Which brings, we can segue into what universe is he really from? Who is he really? Because in this episode, Evan Peters started acting a bit suspicious, or that's what I'm calling him, because I don't know if he's really Pietro. I don't know if I want to call him Quicksilver, whatever, because he's also Peter in the Fox movies. I'm not sure. So, first, let's start off with episode 5. He doesn't call himself Pietro, but he knows that Wanda's the sister. That's already kind of sus. People have seen some sort of thing in the mirror at the end of episode 5. I'm not sure about that. Then he calls Vision a popsicle. Maybe he never learned Vision's name in Age of Ultron. he was with Vision for a while. Feel like he should have learned his name in Age of Ultron. Maybe it was just a joke. I'll leave that be. The beginning of the episode. I feel like he jumped on the opportunity to be the father figure for the night way too quickly. That's just my take on it. He also caused mayhem with them, and I mean, sure, yeah, Evan Peters might have done that, but it's when we bring in like the memories that he said he had memories from Aaron Taylor Johnson's Quicksilver and stuff, and we got the bullet holes. Maybe that's just Wanda's PTSD or whatever, but at the same time, there's a combination between these two where he looks like one and has memories of another, where it's really suspicious because Evan Peters' one's not supposed to know about that, and neither of the Quicksilvers are supposed to know that Vision has died, which is the biggest detail. I could go on forever about the accent, the other things that he's done, the different memories, but dead husband can't die twice, right? No. Whatever Pietro he's supposed to be, that line clearly tells me he's not a Pietro. So, who is he? I don't think he'd be Mephisto because I don't know if that's what it looks like when Mephisto possesses people. And I feel like he'd have a lot more villainous intentions. People have always been thinking Mephisto this, Mephisto that. I've heard small theories and theories that it could be more him in Doctor Strange, but I feel like this could be Nightmare. Because Nightmare is known more to possess people, and he's also been known to give people what he wants. This would be more of a either a compromise with Wanda, but Wanda doesn't know how she made this. So if it is a Nightmare, then this is he's going pretty easy in this scenario. Like in the comics I think he's gone a lot harder than this. But I feel like my theory for if there's a bigger force at work, it's not Agatha because there's too many things telling me that she's a regular citizen at this point. It's not Mephisto because even though in the comics he's a sole source for the twins, maybe they could change that around and make it Nightmare, and Nightmare, I don't know. I feel like it's more compelling, it'd be more of a twist, especially for all the fans. And because it could still be Evan Peter from the X-Men universe, but he could be possessed by Nightmare because there's no way that he knows that Vision's dead already. So now let's kind of predict what will happen in the future episode. We have 3 more episodes to go, so let's talk about what's gonna happen. Will Wanda start to question herself in this reality finally because Pietro asked her how she made it and she doesn't really know? This is basically like the one thing that she doesn't know about how this reality works is how she made it. Will she look more into this? I know in one of the trailers we got a frame of her looking really confused at her house that was like changing decades, and her changing the decades of her own house with no one in it, it kind of in shambles as well. I'm not sure. Maybe she's trying to fix it. I don't know what that shot is exactly, but let's keep going. Will Vision question Wanda even more? Will he have the guts to ask her more because about the border, about Ellis, about the neighbors, about Agnes, about the Avengers, about his own like fate, you know? Because he knows he's dead. He knows that the neighbors stop moving as they get closer to the border. He knows, Avengers, she's dead. What's gonna happen? Will he keep quiet because he knows what Wanda did last time when he questioned her? He knows she's really powerful. Will Wanda confront Vision because due to Billy, Wanda, Vision at the moment was willing to sacrifice everything to help the people. But due to Billy, Wanda was able to save Vision. So Vision is now alive. We see he's rescued from the border. Will Wanda change something or confront Vision because he tried to leave? Because she expanded the border a lot, just in case he tried to leave. We don't know, and we don't even know what her intentions were, but that's what I think they were for. We see Darcy's now in the border. Everyone else is clowns. We haven't seen what she turned into. She could just stay Darcy, but Wanda just knows that she's a part of S.W.O.R.D., I think. So she might just turn into another clown, but I hope not. I've heard theories that she could be the ringmaster of the circus, but I feel like that'd be more fitting to Hayward if he were to join. And then, especially because she actually saw Hayward, I believe, and she turned the guns on him. I'm not sure. I also really hope, and I've heard lots of fans hope, that she becomes a waitress, as in like the Two Broke Girls. We also, in one of the posters, saw she's wearing something weird, like here, because the TVs and the TV post, if you've seen the character posters, the TVs like show parts of them. So that's probably definitely one of her costumes. Darcy Lewis in an interview said that she wears some weird costumes. Those will be in the next episodes, I believe. And then, will she and all the other residents, especially the S.W.O.R.D. agents, get powers? I hope not. And this also brings up the question, does the barrier make mutants? I have heard that question many a times. And personally, I believe not, because Monica has always, like, she hasn't been a mutant, and if she's a mutant, then she has the ability to join the X-Men whenever the X-Men come up in the next 5 years. 5-10 years. And I don't think that would happen. They don't think the MCU would change the continuity that much. My personal take on that, I do want the X-Men in, but I don't think the barrier is going to make them, because that would mean that Photon, Spectrum, whatever she is, Monica would be a mutant, and I don't think they're going to make that happen. But would that give Darcy and the other S.W.O.R.D. agents powers? Possibly. Or maybe are her powers caused by anything else? Also not sure. Possibility of Avengers is always up in the air. My biggest questions right now are relating to S.W.O.R.D. As of that. What is Hayward up to? He's hiding something. What could it possibly be? And something I think this is I've heard theories about this. He could possibly be trying to make Vision into a weapon. Maybe that's why they wanted to see if Vision could escape. But at the same time, then he'd try to take Vision out of the barrier, because they were dissecting him there. Why weren't they helping him? Because he could actually be a weapon for them. He didn't terrorize anybody. They were letting him do his own thing. It really would have helped him either way if they took him out, if they asked him about stuff, because I don't know, maybe they would have, maybe they know that they actually have bad intentions, and that if he knew that, then he'd try to kill them or hurt them or whatever. We'll see in the future episodes, but then we see Hayward and a few of his assistants escape from the Hex. Like, they fully escaped, they're on their way. Just like Monica and Jimmy. We know Monica and Jimmy are going to meet someone to try to get them into the barrier again safely, whatever. But especially now that we're catching up to the modern decade, maybe they don't even have to change at all. But they're trying to get them into the Hex. What will Hayward really do now? Because he can't really, I don't know, how many reinforcements can he already, like, bring in? Because a lot of his people, I assume that's like a good bulk of his people, are already in the, they're already in the Hex, so he doesn't have a lot of people. He can't set up much of a camp. So what will he try to do? Will he go back to S.W.O.R.D. base? Will he try to get bigger weapons, get bigger, tools? God, I don't know. Maybe he'll reach out to superheroes, maybe Doctor Strange. God, I don't know. And why would they help him? Maybe just because he looks nice, has a nice power, authority. Don't know. How will Wanda specifically acknowledge more people in the bubble, in the bigger bubble? well, they just still continue not to go past Ellis Avenue, or I don't know, because like now there's a carnival. They'd want to go to the carnival, you'd think, right? In the next episode, and in the carnival episode, or if there's a carnival episode, like there's a whole car dealership back that way. How will Wanda fit that into the canon of her plot, of her story, of her sitcom? Because she expanded the town past the town barrier. Like, we'll see. Maybe that's where the carnival arrives. God, I don't know. This show really racks your mind. And we've seen in the trailers shots of Wanda and the Mind Stone. We've seen shots of like the cul-de-sac and unseen shots in black and white. It could be to trick us, but I don't think so, because there was a shot where, like, in the first Super Bowl trailer, 2019 or 2020, I believe it was, Wanda is in color and meets Vision, who's in black and white, in a whole black and white 1950s house. You know, Wanda, you're home. So when will that come into play? Apparently in the next 3 episodes, they're supposed to be longer because, you know, we have like almost 3 hours left. We're almost a little bit over halfway through. So we got to get our episodes now. And I believe I've heard people like Kevin Feige, Matt Shakman, Paul Bettany say that. And I've heard that these next 3 will have more of a big MCU cinematic kind of thing, where we're getting these MCU type things and melting less out of sitcoms. So maybe we'll get a flashback episode sometime, maybe we'll get a carnival episode sometime, final battle sometime between who and who, because we get like maybe the one word in the trailer where it's like we have to save our town, and Vision actually helps Wanda. So why would Vision help Wanda? Is it from Hayward? Hopefully from Hayward, because, and hopefully like Darcy and Monica and everyone can help out. The Speed and Wiccan, maybe they grow up to age enough to be teenagers one time, so they can match. But then also, Iman Vellani and Xochitl Gomez also kind of look a bit on the younger side, even though they are like 18 or whatever. Or I guess Xochitl Gomez is like 16 or 17. But still, those Speed and Wiccan are definitely like 10 there. So maybe they age up to be maybe like 18, 16 there. So they can fight with them in the Young Avengers. And maybe like Trauma, like Hayward or whatever, gets them to age up one more time. That's my hopes. But those are my theories following episode 6 into episode 7, 8, and 9. Thanks for sticking around if you actually did. I doubt it. Thank you for watching if you did. I am so ready for these next few episodes. See ya.